What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up 5.8%, so finally showing some signs of life. So the first time in almost like a week and a half, it is going to close in the green. So that is definitely deserving of a round of applause. So far today, 496 the high, 474 the low, and about 37 million shares being traded. So a fair amount of volume. But interestingly enough, you did see NIO largely get dragged down first thing, and that's through algorithmic trading. And there's a hell of a lot of things happening to the American market. So I'll give you a very quick overview of that. But in reality, NIO is kind of moving higher because of some of the news that did come out. So getting right to it, there really wasn't that much in macro data or anything. And actually, on a side note, my apologies on not putting out a NIO video over the weekend. Whatever reason, my program that I used to record my screen, it just did not want to work at all. So my apologies on that. But today, there really wasn't that much in macro data, whether that be from states or from China, but there is a lot of things really impacting the American market, which normally would really push NIO down through, again, algorithmic trading, but luckily enough, it's not. So we have Jay Powell being investigated by the DOJ. We have JPM now switching it up, saying that in 2026, there won't be any rate cuts. And in fact, in 2027, there might be even rate hikes. They didn't really change their estimate though, so they are still keeping the S&P at 7,700 by the end of 2026. So they still feel the broader market is going to expand, just no rate cuts will occur. So rather interesting for that. You have the finance sector really getting influenced by Trump's comments about capping interest rates at 10%. So again, I'm just giving a quick overview because normally all of this would impact NIO, but luckily enough, it's not. There is two things that did come out over the weekend that the market is digesting. One is this right here. So Firefly hit a pretty good milestone of 40,000 deliveries. So very good, deserving of a round of applause. And as I've mentioned, this is the type of news that the market likes. The market likes new launches as well as kind of just milestones. And so this again is a pretty good thing. There was one other point. It's not really news. It's just more stat driven, but it shows that NIO is pivoting to more larger SUVs, full size. And I think generally, even as of like 2022, that's been the growing trend, is large SUVs are kind of the more popular vehicle. And NIO's clearly taking advantage of that through the ES8, and then most recently, based on the stats, ES9 is also even larger than the ES8. So that should be a pretty good thing for Q2, because I know they recently just put out the approval last week, I do believe. So big things are going to be coming for NIO. So these are the two things that generally the market likes to see. Still, no new analyst ratings. As stubborn as these individuals are, they're most likely just waiting for NIO's upcoming earnings, which has not been announced just yet. Looking at this, so this is Lucid, so you guys do not need to care about that. So looking at NIO, shorts are increasing about 106,000 shares, 8.46% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 172 million shares overall being shorted. Shares on loan, like it's inching up, but still you see some signs of naked shorting because number of shares being shorted versus on loan, like you shouldn't have that balance at all. DTC 3.6 days still does signal that shorts are overextended. And one thing I always like to bring up, just more of a good FYI, there is more than 10 million shares available to be shorted. So if shorts really did want to double down, they can definitely do that. And for those of you that have subscribed to the channel, I greatly appreciate that. But I started back with my pre-market video, so I actually did do one early this morning. So if you're ever curious on some key levels to watch for, latest catalysts, what's going to impact the market, make sure you guys kind of tune in to that. I like to put it out pretty much 1 hour before the bell. But aside from that, moving on to the options, we're seeing 3.02 million in calls, 976,000 in puts, and then 51% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 550 to 6. by the end of this week. So let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of big macro data that's coming out Tuesday evening as well as Wednesday, so that could really impact a lot of Chinese stocks. Plus, over the weekend, we kind of got some updates for policy changes. So there might be, again, more locally sourced kind of stimulus coming out. So maybe that could be the reason why NIO and other Chinese stocks are kind of moving higher. From a bear standpoint, though, you see a consensus for it to be roughly between that 450 and 5. So even they're anticipating for it to be pretty much where it is now. So definitely good to see. On the secondary market, we're seeing 3 transactions, 2 sells and 1 buy. So not too much going on for that, which overall does kind of match with the lower volume and as well algorithmic trading. But these are all the transactions occurring on the Darkpool. So this exchange is a little bit more active today. And so when it comes down to the Darkpool, it is often enough used by shorts and hedge funds and a lot of hold numbers. So that goes to show hedge funds are actually buying into NIO, which is weird. And so this in among itself is also proof that hedge funds, institutions don't know what the hell is going on in the broader market, no more than you or I. Everyone is just speculating on what is coming next, because last week they were selling, more so at the beginning of the week. So they were kind of selling for whatever reason, and now they are buying. So very interesting kind of stuff, turn of events. With it at 492, it is right below this R1. So this pivot point of 477 was kind of a very big deal, especially by the end of last week. Like NIO really tried to break above that numerous times. It did fail every single time. Today, it just woke up different and it didn't even touch this 477. Flip side, it's testing this R1 right now. So if it's able to get above that, then it is fair to assume you can see $5 pretty much right around the corner. So 503 and then 519 is going to be the next strong targets / resistance points. Aside from all of that, though, I just wanted to say, if you are looking for some solid on-point buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my stacked account. I'm going to be putting out a promotion over the next couple of trading days for day trades, swing trades. And so, for instance, these are the actual day trades that I just put out. They obviously are getting impacted now with the broader market, but many of them were up like 50% plus. So this one 21%, this one's down 7%. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. Link in the description below and also the comments. But moving on to the actual technicals. So even though today's kind of showing some signs of life, it is still below a lot of the key pivotal moving averages that generally I like to look at. So right now it is below that 10-day moving average. So that's going to be a key point to get over tomorrow. And that's currently sitting at 498. We also do have that 200-day moving average sitting at 508. So that again might be a Wednesday type of problem to deal with. And keep in mind, we have a lot of big stuff coming out Tuesday evening. So that could be that good catalyst to really push it above that 200-day moving average. But all in all, we are seeing a lot more willing buyers. I think that's kind of the good thing that I wanted to share with you in this video, aside from the milestone and just them really understanding the market. And I think even when it comes down to the larger size, a lot of companies such as even Lucid. So I actually even have like a dedicated Lucid channel, not pumping it. I'm obviously very critical of it, but Lucid tries to take their product and jam it down people's throats and say, like it, this is what you want. That's not the way to do business, in my opinion. What NIO is doing is they are constantly understanding what the market is wanting and they're pivoting. So again, since 2022, 2023, the stats have all shown that larger SUVs are where the demand are. NIO is targeting that. So I think no matter what, that's kind of good stuff, what they put out. But getting back to the technicals, these are 2 points to kind of watch for. So in my opinion, I do feel that we could easily get above that 200-day moving average this week, as long as we can get over that 10-day moving average by tomorrow. Aside from that, there really hasn't been that much in kind of articles, nothing coming out from Mark Carney. So he, the PM of Canada, is in China this week for kind of trade talks. And so far, nothing has really come out associated to that. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Where do you see things going? Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you generally doing? One final thing, like I mentioned, pop over to my stacked account if you're looking for some solid on-point buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. And actually, while I'm on here, what I can do is I will amend this day trades. So instead of $21.99, I currently have about 17, 18 people. Just started this recently as well. I'll lower this down to $10 just for, let's say, by the end of this week. So if you're wanting to sign up, definitely do that. I'll cap it at 50 members for this. So definitely worthwhile to kind of sign up while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.